How many sales have you lost without even knowing it? Not because your product was bad, not because your offer wasn't good enough, but because your lack of payment options made them quit. Sounds familiar, right? Your customer was ready, credit card in hand, but the payment gateway? Confusing, limited, unfamiliar. And in that moment of hesitation, they bounced. No payment, no notification, just silence and lost revenue. In today's world, payment is personal, and if you don't offer what they prefer, you're silently turning customers away. Here's the part most businesses ignore. Payment experience is everything, and no two customers pay the same way. You have to give them options, personalized, fast, and frictionless. That's where Fluent Forms steps in. From Stripe to PayPal, Paystack to Razorpay, and even offline payments, you can integrate it all with just a few clicks. In today's video, I'll show you exactly how to set up multiple payment methods with Fluent Forms step by step. Every button, every method. So your checkout is no longer a dead end, but the smoothest part of the customer journey. Alright guys, so I'm on my WordPress dashboard. I'm gonna head over to Fluent Forms. Okay, so now we are gonna jump straight to the global settings to get started with setting up the payment settings. Can you see payment settings here? Yeah, all the magic lies here. So after clicking here, the first thing we can see is 3 more buttons, settings, payment method, and coupons. So let's go through settings first. You must enable the payment module in order to actually get the payments through. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now just go ahead and type in your business name, the address. Okay, perfect. Now I'm just going to add a logo of my business. Okay, all right, done. Let's save the settings here. So on top, you can see that you can also set up the currency according to your preference. You have various options for that and even tons of visual options. In case you want to keep the currency sign on the left side or right, along with spaces, or even if you want to hide the decimals, you have the option. I'll just keep mine as it is. Now, let's move to the pages and subscription management. You can choose a specific page where you want to set the payment management materials in. Also, as you can see, you can put the receipt on the same page or a different page. It's totally up to you. All right, now that we're firstly done with the initial stage of setting up the payment settings, let's now see the multiple payment methods that are available for us in Fluent Forms. For that, we will jump to the payment methods page directly. Okay, so as you guys can see that we have 8 payment gateways in Fluent Forms. Wow, this is just amazing. I mean, if I'm a customer and I see this many payment options, I might end up buying more than I need. First up, you'll see payment options like Stripe, then there's PayPal Standard, Molly, Razorpay, Paystack, Square, Paddle, and Authorize.net. You can enable any of these based on your preference. For today's demo, we'll enable a few of them together so you can see how multiple payment gateways work side by side. And quick heads up, we already have a detailed video on the Authorize.net payment gateway. If you want a deeper dive, you can check it out. I'll leave the link in the description. Each of these payment options has 2 modes. Test mode and live mode. Test mode basically allows you to try the payment method for free. So when you're ready to receive money, you have to switch to live. We will see each and every one of the methods one by one, starting with Stripe. So by default, as Stripe is the first on list, it's open by default. So let's get going and enable it. All right, let's move on to PayPal Standard. Let's enable it. Okay, so as we saw on Stripe with the test mode and live mode, here we see an option called the sandbox mode, which is just test mode, so we will go for this option. And all you have to do now is put your PayPal email address, save the settings, and you're pretty much up with PayPal. All right, moving on to Molly. So same way, we're gonna enable it and go for the test mode. Okay, so as you can see, Molly asks for an API key. To get that API key, we will need to log into our Molly dashboard. Here we are. So once I'm in Molly, I'll head straight to payments. And now I'm going to go to API keys. Now here's what we'll see. 2 sets of keys. One is the live API key that we'll use when we're ready to accept real payments. And right underneath that, we'll find the test API key, which is perfect for trying things out safely. So let's go ahead and copy the test API key for now. Then we're going to switch back to Fluent Forms dashboard and paste that key into the Molly payment settings. That's all we need to do to connect Molly in test mode. And later, when we're ready to go live, We'll just replace it with the live API key and we're good to go. Simple, right? Now let's move on to Razorpay. First, we'll go ahead and enable Razorpay payment method by checking this box at the top. All right, now I'm going to choose the payment mode, which is the test mode, obviously. You can always choose the live mode later once everything is working and your Razorpay account is fully activated. It's the same for all the payment method, by the way, just in case I didn't mention. All right, so now Razorpay also asks you for your test API credentials, specifically the test API key and then the test API secret. To get these, we'll head to the Razorpay dashboard. I'll go ahead and go to the account and settings. So just as I land in this page, you can instantly see the API keys. Click on API keys and then click on generate key. Okay, so let's copy the test API key. Okay, so once all the fields are filled in, just hit save settings and that's it. Razorpay is now connected with Fluent Forms in test mode. So it's the same for Paystack and all the options are similar. So let's skip the process and move to Square. Okay, so as usual, enable it and go for test mode. The first option we can see is the test application ID. Okay, I'll just quickly log into the Square developers dashboard and I'll go straight to settings. Now I'll head towards app integrations. I already had a test application created, so I'll click on the manage button. Okay, and now I'm gonna copy the credentials from here. I'll also need the location key, so I will copy that as well and paste them one by one. Stick with me. All right, done. Square is now connected. Now, last but not the least, paddle. So to set paddle, obviously I must enable it like all the other ones I did earlier. Going with the test mode, we will now need to fill up the test API key and client token. And as you can see, I'm in the paddle dashboard. So on the left-hand side, can you see the developer tools? Yeah, from there, I'm going to click on authentication. I already have an API key and client token created for test mode, so I'll just copy it and paste it one by one. Now, save the settings and we are done. So we are done setting up every single payment method within Fluent Forms. Now, the main part, setting it up in the form. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the payment methods in the form. Now that I've enabled and set up the payment methods, the next step is to add the payment methods field to my form. So I'm going to go ahead and open the form that I'm working on. Okay, so I'm going to drag and drop the payment methods field into my form. So once it's added, you are going to see a list of all the payment options that you've enabled earlier, like Stripe, PayPal, Razorpay, Molly, Paystack, and Square. Now, all I have to do is check the boxes for the ones I want to make available in that specific form. You can also offer just one payment method or allow your users to choose from multiple options. But as today's video is about setting up multiple payments, I am going to set according to that. Okay, done. Let's give it one last check. And that's it. Your form is now fully equipped to collect payments smoothly and securely. And that's a wrap on setting up payment methods with Fluent Forms. Whether you're selling products, offering services, or collecting donations, Fluent Forms makes it incredibly easy to get paid your way. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more WordPress tips and tutorials from WP Managed Ninja. Got any questions? Drop them in the comments. We're always happy to help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, happy form building!